Hi, all you fans out there of Universal monster movies, Universal horrors. I want to tell you about a new book that you may not have heard about. It's this book here, and it's called Bela's Monster, Lugosi, the Monster, and Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman by Bill Fleck. And I just got this in the mail. I ordered it as soon as I heard about it. And I love the Universal Monsters. I love the movie Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. And I love Bela Lugosi playing the monster. Now, of course, I have a channel here that has a lot of this type of talk about movies like this. But I haven't really talked a lot about the situation with Lugosi in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Basically, in a nutshell, is Lugosi resisted playing the monster for years and years. In fact, Boris Karloff became a star because Lugosi was going to originally be the monster in Frankenstein, the original, and he didn't want to do it because it had no dialogue and it had all the makeup. And he always resented that it made Karloff the big horror star. But in 1942, when they were going to film Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, Lugosi was offered the part and he took it. The problem was he was just turning 60 years old. His body was in bad shape. He was weak, but the script actually called for the monster in this story to be blind and to speak. So he felt that being able to take the part with a speaking part and playing a challenging role of a blind monster with dialogue who's trying to get well, while his adversary, the Wolfman, is trying to unalive himself. The Wolfman wants to die, the monster wants to live. So they try to find Dr. Frankenstein's records so that they could serve both of them for their purposes. That's the gist of it. Now, the bottom line is that when the studio screened a finished copy of the movie, the people in the screening room fell down laughing in hysterics because Lugosi apparently, reportedly, sounded humorous and funny speaking as the monster in a Hungarian accent. Even though anybody who knows the movie that came before this movie, the ending of The Ghost of Frankenstein, which was the movie before this, it ends with the monster having Lugosi's voice for just for the last few moments of the film, and nobody laughed then. Anyway, I don't want to tell you the whole history. I'll leave that up to Bill Fleck. But this book, I already was reading most of it. And I was wondering how a book like this thick would be able to talk only about the Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman shooting. And what happened, I should mention, that's important to the story, is when the movie was released, it was so nervous that it was going to draw laughs and completely bring the house down, doubling over in hilarious laughter. They cut out all of Lugosi's dialogue from the movie, rendering his performance kind of unintelligible and kind of weak. And it wasn't his fault. So there's a lot I have to say about this topic. I'll do it in future videos. I will dissect this topic more. But this book, I was wondering, like I said, how it was going to concentrate just on the movie. And here's like a picture of a lobby card from the movie. How is it going to just focus on this movie? Well, it talks about a lot of things. It talks about Boris Karloff in the original Frankenstein. It talks about Son of Frankenstein, the movie. It talks about Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. It talks about the Frankenstein monster really as a character, and talks about Bela Lugosi and some of his movies. I mean, there's one like White Zombie. It serves as a biography of sorts on Lugosi himself, and also talking about Karloff and makeup artist Jack Pierce, all kinds of interesting tidbits. I mean, I devoured a lot of this already. I mean, admittedly, I wasn't reading from front cover to back cover. I was reading all bits in between, and I got a lot of. There's the movie The Ghost of Frankenstein I was talking about earlier, the one before Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, and there's Son of Frankenstein. I like the way these pictures, and some of them in color, actually accommodate the lettering, and I like that the lettering here, the print, is very big, so that people like me can read it easier. There's so much in here to talk about. I thought I've heard it all. Here's like the stuntman Gil Perkins, who doubled for Lugosi. There he is carrying the actress Ilona Massey. So there's so much in here. So much in here. Stuff I knew about and stuff I didn't know about. Stuff that I'd never heard about before. Believe it or not. And actual quotes from Lon Chaney Jr. in his, I think it was his diary. You learn a lot about Lon Chaney Jr., you learn a lot about Lugosi, you learn a lot about other actors like Lionel Atwill. There's Claude Rains and Lionel Atwill in The Man Who Reclaimed His Head. So this serves as a Universal Movies history. It serves as a Lugosi history. It serves as a Karloff history. All the monsters intertwined. The Wolfman, it talks about the Wolfman, the original film, the first film, The Wolfman, and all the sequels, House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, and all that. And it is really, already for me, just perusing a little bit of it, it is really an essential book if you're a fan of Universal Monsters, if you're a fan of Bela Lugosi, and if you really want to learn more about what went wrong with this production and why didn't they release it the way that they shot it. Lugosi gave, I believe, a real heartfelt, respectable performance as a monster that was blind and sick and spoke. And then they cut all of his dialogue out, rendering his monster aimlessly walking around, reaching out for no reason, and they don't know why in the movie. I still love Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, the movie, as it is, as it was released, as we know it. The footage, it was lost. Probably the footage doesn't exist anymore. Nobody's ever found it, that they cut out. I got a lot more to say about this, yes, and I will in the future. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope those of you who are interested in this topic will get out there and buy the book, Bela's Monster by Bill Fleck. Really, really interesting. I knew right away this was for me. I immediately ordered it. It's available in hardcover. It's available in soft cover, and probably also available in Kindle, I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact. But boy, if you're a fan of these movies, you will not be disappointed. What a good job this is. There's Lon Chaney Jr., right? Thank you, everybody, for watching. Cheers.